Hello there. Good afternoon, or should I say, for those of you in Europe and the Far East, good morning. I'm Professor Hyperion, and yes, I'm wearing a fake mustache. Don't worry, abnormal feelings of attraction are perfectly normal. If it bothers you too much, I can remove the mustache. Now, today we're going to be examining how to create a stun glove out of common, let's say, CVS bought items. Now, the things that you are going to need for this experiment. 1. A disposable camera, complete with battery. You can get these pretty much anywhere. Number 2, wire. You're going to need quite a bit of wire, actually. Greater than 12 feet, I'd assume. Needs to be one solid wire, not those little headphone wire thingies. 3, scissors. Always a good thing to have. 4, a glove, preferably thick and insulated. Rubber, if you can find it. 5, you're going to need something to make the leads with on your glove. I choose this brass fitting here. 6, you are going to need a screwdriver. This is a Phillips. You're probably going to need a flathead, but it's going to be small, very small. An optional thing you might want is an extra box, small in size. If you can find one smaller than a disposable camera, use it. Make sure that it's plastic, not metal. You don't want to shock yourself. Now, let's begin, shall we? Alright, now then, you're going to start out with your disposable camera. As you can see, I have taken the liberty of removing the cardboard or the sticker casing around it. You may wish to do the same. Simply take your screwdriver and chisel that thing off. Now, the next thing you'll want to do is open your bad boy up. It's held together with clasps. Simple plastic things, made only to insert the screwdriver and pry them open. I have opened it. Now, the number one thing you want to do now is remove the battery. Always remove the battery first. You do not want to get shocked. Alright, battery is out. Now, if you had the charge on for the flash, you want to still be careful. The capacitor inside will still hold a charge. Now, disassemble the rest of your camera, taking extra care. Now, this is the dangerous part. The capacitor is stored right here. You may see it. Right there. Now, you do not ever want to touch those two leads, as you will get shocked. I've had burn marks on my hands for weeks from this project. Carefully remove this circuit board right here. This is the item that you want. Comes standard in all of these cameras. It looks pretty much the same everywhere. Now, this capacitor, it holds a charge. Do not touch these with your fingers. It'll hurt like hell. Now, you want to discharge any charge left in the capacitor with a screwdriver. Metal with a plastic tip, plastic or rubber. Watch carefully. Alright, there was no charge, so I'm in no danger now. One more time just to check. Alright, see? I can safely touch it with my fingers. Alright, no charge. Now, the rest of your camera, all the mechanical workings you may remove. May take a little bit of work, just pop that out right there. Throw it away. You don't need it. Now, next thing you want to do, take your wire, get a good long strip of it. Whoops. There's a knot. Anyway, you're going to want to strip about, I don't know, maybe half an inch of your wire. Now, this capacitor here is where we are going to attach our wires. One wire is attached here, one is attached here. All you need to do is curl your wire around like so. Alright, and do that twice. Get my other wire. Right, curl it around like so. Now, you may wish to test your device. You may do so, but do it carefully. These are the ends of the two wires I have. Touch them together. No charge. Good, good. Now, here's where things get a bit dicey. You want to reinsert your battery. The flash should not be active now, but it will be rather soon. Alright. Activating it. You'll hear a slight buzzing or something. It sounds like that. Now, the charge is in the capacitor, and I'm about to touch the leads together. You see? And that was only after a moment's charge. That slight one could probably leave burn marks on your hands. Now, what you want to do is remove the battery. Make sure there's no charge. Alright, everything's safe. Now, reinsert. Alright. Reinsert this into your camera casing. Take your wires, and you'll need to run them through the casing. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to slap this case back on here, like so. Alright. Perfect, there's a hole at the top. Lovely. Now, leave your battery out for now. You really don't want to damage yourself. Now, your leads, you can use anything metallic really. Springs, metal buttons, anything you really wish to. But I use this brass tubing. And since it's rather thin, I can cut it with these scissors. That's the point of the scissors, as well as stripping the wires. Alright, simply cut here. And here. Alright. Okay, and I'll be right back just as soon as I finish creating the leads. Alright, now, I've foregone creating the leads. It would take too much time, and you can get the point anyway. You don't really need them, I'd say. Now, what you need is your glove. This is a standard paintballing glove, but you can use BMX gloves, winter gloves, any kind of glove you wish. However, do not use fingerless gloves. All you'll do is zap yourself and cause all sorts of unpleasantries. Now, if you're some sort of masochist, I assume that would be pleasurable for you, but we'll have none of that here. Now, these two leads need to be attached, one to the thumb, and two, any finger of your choosing, really. Whichever one's easiest for you to touch. Now, the thing is when these, say I'm going to put one on my pointer finger and one on my thumb. When I touch, when I touch the fingers together, snap, snap. Or if I just touch someone on bare skin, like this, with these two fingers, they will be electrocuted. Now, the basic idea is like this. You're going to want to run the wire up your arm, through your sleeve, and down into this camera. Will be ideally positioned in your pocket. Alright, now I'm just going to use some electrical tape, which I have neglected to mention in the tools needed. I will attach these, thumb and pointer finger, and I will show you the results once I finish doing that. Now, as you can see, I have taped up my wires to my glove, and it's probably a good thing that I neglected to mention the electrical tape, as I am out. I use Scotch tape. Probably not the most intelligent maneuver, however, it will serve our purposes. Now, as you can see, leads can touch, wired into my fingers. Now, you may choose a more elaborate, more aesthetically pleasing method, perhaps wiring the wire through the glove, out of a hole, and out onto the fingertips. However, always be sure that the insulated part of the wire is the only part of the wire that is anywhere close to your skin. Do not allow this unprotected tip to be anywhere close to your skin, as you may be zapped. Believe me, it's going to be quite painful. Now, I have wired up my camera here. I have inserted the battery. Now let's test this baby out. Going to turn it on. Flash is charging. Now, 3, 2, 1. Wait for it to charge. Wait for it to charge all the way. And that should be about now. Beautiful, isn't it? You have a glove of death at your fingertips. Turn it off. Now, whenever you're using this device, 3 steps. Turn off the flash. Step number 2, discharge every ounce of charge left in that capacitor. Tap it together several times, several dozen times, just to be sure. You do not want to A, start a fire, or B, electrocute yourself or anyone you love. This is only for people you don't like. And even then, be careful. This might get you put in jail for assault or something. Now, step 3. Always be sure to remove the glove without touching the leads at all. Though you may have discharged the charge in the capacitor, you can never be sure. Step 4. So let's call this step 3A, shall we? Remove the battery. Always remove the battery. This prevents charge from building up in the capacitor, and it prevents accidental shock. There you are, my friends. And so, that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you for watching. This is Professor Hyperion. Shocking.